Bernoulli and binomial distributions that we have going to discuss in this lecture. So these two kind of distribution function must a discrete random variable function. Is a discrete random variable. Discrete means discrete distribution function. The thing that first we have to remember, this is a discrete. This is a discrete random variable. These two functions are the discrete random variable. So let's first discuss the Bernoulli distributions. Then after that we are discussed the binomial distribution. First let's take, so just to discuss this Bernoulli distributions through an examples, then I think it will be easy for us to better understand. Suppose let's take, and x is an experiment, x is a random variables suppose let's take x is an experiment, that's we are going to toss a coin. Tossing a coin, that's the experiment. Okay, so if you're going to tossing a coin, then there have two outcomes only. It will be head or tail. There have only two types of outcomes, head or tail. Okay, suppose let's denote it here, the head through the notations of 1 and the tail that is 0. We have denoted these two notations using these two notations 1 and 0. Okay, so if we taken this thing, so then if you just use a fair coin, then what will be the probability of getting a hit? And so the simple probability of the random variable x, it will take the value hit is half. Similarly for tail also, it will be half. But the question is, if we not take a fair coin, consider a fair coin, suppose we have considered a biased coin. Suppose let's take we have considered a biased coin. So in such cases, what will be the probability? So we cannot tell. In such cases, the probability will be half. Suppose let's take, for some time let's take the random variable x, that's take the output value, the observations head. Suppose let's take its value is p. Then what will be the value of the outcome? It will be taken the tail. Its value will be 1 minus p. For another language, it will call q, where p plus q will be 1. So the same thing. Sure. So in bias case, the if we have a fair coin or fair die, then we have no problem. But the conditions occur if we have bias type of coins or bias type of something, bias type of dice. So in such scenario, the Bernoulli distributions come into the pictures to give the answer. So let's take. So if the parameter, in Bernoulli, so already we have known, if you just taken the uniform distributions, there we have three parameters. A, that's the first outcome of our experiment. B, that's the last outcome of our experiments, and n, that's the number of observations of our experiment. But here in Bernoulli distributions, the parameter that we know, that we have to know, this one, the probability value. So the first thing that we have to know, the parameter value. The parameter that we have to know here, the first parameter is p, where the value of the p lies in 0 to 1. Obviously, this is a real number. That's the first thing that we have to know. In Bernoulli distributions, the parameter is p. Now the second thing, what will be the support set of that outcome? Means what will be the outcomes of such kind of experiments? In suppose here we are going to experiment the coin. So such type of experiments are workable on the Bernoulli distribution. So the second thing, the support set. What will be the support set of this Bernoulli distribution? the support set K for the support set will be lies in 0 or 1. Means here just I am taken the example head or tail, instead of using the head and tail I am using the notations here 1 and 0. So this will be a support vector. Now what will be the probability mass functions? What will be the probability mass functions of that distributions, Bernoulli distributions? So the probability mass functions will be, the first will be P. If P means the probability, simply it will be the probability. Probability, and if the outcome is 0, it will be 1 minus P. This will be the simple, this will be the probability mass functions. Therefore K is equals to, in small k, 1, 0. That's the third thing we have to. The fourth questions, what will be the cumulative distribution functions of the distributions? So the probability cumulative distribution functions will be like that. Just draw the probability mass functions, then I think then it will be easy for us to better understand. Suppose let's take, it's the random variable x, it is the probability mass function PMF. So it is the observations 1, it is the observations 0. So if in 1 it will be P must be less than 0, as well as Q must be 1 minus P also less than 0, sorry, less than 1. If it takes the value 1, then suppose let's take it's the value P, here the value P and here the value Q, here the value P and here the value Q. So let's take it's the 0 point, it's the 1 point. Suppose let's take it's the 0 point, and P plus Q must be 1. So the cumulative distribution functions for that one means, if the value, just take these things. If the value means two outcomes, just don't be confused, actually this is the notations, actually these things are the notations, outcomes. So the output, the cumulative distribution functions will be, so don't be confused why I am writing this 1 first and then 0 second. These things are the simple notations that I have used to understand. Okay, so the sample, if it will be 0, the cumulative distribution function will be 0 if simple our K value is less than 1. These portions I am talking about. If this value will be Q, means what? It means just say these things, means P, these things will be P. If the kth value K will be, if the K value will be, what K is will be 1. K will be greater than equals to, means I am going to just greater than 1. I think it will be easy for us to just change the notations, then don't be confused of this term or these things. Actually I have taken here 0, I am taken here just for understanding, for easy of our understanding. Just if you taken here 1, then according to that arrange the notations, but for avoiding the confusions I am taking here first 0 then 1. So both the same things. If you're interesting, if you have taken the Q or here P, so just that as you like. So it will be 0. It will be, if the value is be 0, if these things now will be 0. Means in these regions. Now in these regions I'm talking these things up to this one, means P. Just when we are reaching at P, its value will be 1. Means when it will be P plus Q. 1 when it will be greater than 1, means k, when the k just it will be less than. This will be a simple commutative distribution function. So just before the 1th point, it will take the value p, and when it is reached 1, and after 1 it will be takes the value p plus q, means simple it will take 1. So this is the simple the commutative distribution functions. I think you have understand the concept. And the 5th thing is mean. The mean of the distributions will be simple p. I am not going to discuss the mathematics of why, how these things are happening and why these things are coming. Just if you're interested, then go to the Google, just search it on the mean of the Bernoulli distributions. Then there have many lectures, many literatures, everything are available and free. You can find it easily. So I'm not going to discuss it. Then you can easily find its median also, and you can easily find its mode, variance, everything, the statistical notations you can easily find. Okay, I'm not going to discuss this thing. I think you have understands when we are using the Bernoulli concept and how these things are important to think. Just I think give you the intuitions of that thing. So if you simple, the first thing that we have to remember, when our experiment, when our the random variables that we have, it's the simple discrete random variables, and its outcome are the two types. It's either head or tail, means either it will 0 or 1. Such kind of conditions we have to apply the Bernoulli distributions. That's the main thing that we have to remember for application point of view. Now come into the binomial distribution. What is the binomial distribution? The binomial distributions is simple the extensions of the Bernoulli distributions. So let's discuss these things, and let's discuss these things through an example. So binomial distributions. Binomial distribution. Let's discuss this thing. Okay. So suppose let's take that the example that I have taken to elaborate the Bernoulli distribution means tossing a coins. Means I am going to tossing a coins in a single trial. Okay. So here x is toss a coin. Tossing a coins. If we're going to experiment these things, there will be two type of outcomes, only head or tail. But in these cases, suppose let's take, we have draw a new experiment. Suppose number of suppose the thing that we are going to discuss, the experiment they are going to the design here, that the number of times that the head, suppose let's take number of times, suppose let's take we are going to toss a coin up to 10 times. Suppose we are going to toss a coin up to 10 times. So in this 10 times, how much head are occurs? That's the experiment that are going to that I want to know. Suppose let's take we are going to take randomly 10 times. So in that time, in the how much time you will get the head. So that's the thing that we want to know. So how then how will get such kind of answers? So in such scenario, we will the binomial distributions come into the pictures to get such kind of answers. So suppose let's step by step. Suppose the experiment is that we are designed here, the number of times I get a head. When I toss my fair coin. The coin must be fair coin. Either this theorem is not workable on that situations. Fair coin n times. Suppose let's take n times. In these examples, we have taken the n is equals to 10. So this is the new experiment that they are going to do. So in X, if we just draw a single coin in a single time, then only using the simple binomial distributions we get its answer. But the same experiment, if we going to repeatedly doing this job, the same experiment that we have taken in Bernoulli distributions, that the experiment we are going to doing randomly in repeatedly. So in such scenario, what will be the probability to get a single outcome? So the outcome of such scenario would be, suppose here we are actually going to toss the up to n times. So the outcome, the chances of the hit, it will be 0. It may be 1, it may be 2 times, it may be 3 times. After the chance that we are taking the chances on that experiment y, it may be n minus 1, it may be up to n. So after that it is not possible, because our at most we have going to toss the thing in n times. So at most the chances to get the hit on the toss of the experiments, it's the up to n times. So these are the outcomes of that random variable y. Though simple, the y will belongs to this on this way. I think you have understand. I understand the how this y random variable work. Now let's discuss. So the distributions that the random variable y are obeys here. Distributions is y follows here the binomial distributions, that in simple we written this thing bin with parameters. Here how much parameter we have, how much times we are going to toss this coin, n, and what will be the corresponding probability of edge output. These are the two things that we have to know. This is the simple distributions of such kind of experiment, of such kind of means random variables that we have to know. So that n that we have to require here to draw this n is called the number of trials. Number of trials, and this p are called the probability of getting an output. Probability of getting and observations. Observations of a Bernoulli distribution. That's the thing. That's that actually we need to do. These n and p are actually the parameter here. So let's discuss its some properties. So first the thing that we need to know. The denotations for the Bernoulli distributions. The notations is bin, that in generally, as you like, if you interested, you do donate to another notations, that's matter on you. But in generally, the authors, the scientists, the mathematicians are using bin parameters, bin, np. The np are the two parameters. The second things that we need the parameters to draw this distribution. Parameters here that we need to know. The two parameters, it will be n, means n simple, it is the natural numbers. Natural numbers means number of trials. Number of trials that we need to know. And another one is probability. That belongs to 0 to 1. That's the thing. So success probability in S trial. These things are called the, in another language, these things called the success probability. Success probability in H trial. That's the thing. The second parameter that we have to know. In third, that the most important, it's support vectors. What will be the support vector of such kind? So the support vector will be the means the outcome of such kind of random variables. So we will see, if we take the n times of trials, then the support vector will be 0 to up to n. The support vector will be 0, 1, 2, up to it will be n. Up to it will be n. So it means the number of success. In another language, these things are called the number of success. number of success support. Now the fourth thing, the probability mass functions, because it is a discrete random variable. So here we need to know the probability mass function. So what will be the probability mass function? This is the simple, the binomial distributions means we have to take the binomial log. Here we have a number of trials, and suppose let's take, we are going to interested it how much time the k times means that k times how much, and what will be the probability to get the hit of that coin on k times, which case the k value will be on the support vectors. Example, this k must be on the support set, So this value will be nck e to the power k into 1 minus p to the power n minus k. If you are interested to how these things are come, so I suggest you just go to the Wikipedia websites and just type on the binomial distributions. Then they have easily elaborated these things step by step with an examples. Then you can easily got the answer from there. So in that, this is the not motto to discuss the theoretical step by step. You can easily find these things anywhere on the internet or any book, any kind of book, mathematics book. Just the main motto is in where we have to apply this theorem. What is the real applicable point of view, and in which situations of machine learning these theorems are applicable. That's the main motto of these lectures. Okay, so I think that if you just interested, if anyone interested to find this formula, just go to the Wikipedia, then you can easily find that things on there. So now the fifth thing that we have to know, the cumulative distribution function. So these things, this is the mathematical functions. So the functions is 1 minus I by p. There is a mathematical functions n minus k into 1 plus k, where the value of the k will be lying on 0 to n. Okay, I think I am not discuss what is the I. The everything is, you can just, if you interested, just go to the search it on Google. There have many lots of mathematics book. You can easily find that kind of. And this is not a hard task. So this is the not I am not going to boring this series of lectures just discussing through the mathematical theoretical part. I am going to give you the hint in which situations these theorems are applicable. This concept will be applicable. This is the main motto. So just to see these things. So if our random variable, such kind of experiment that are going to design, that this outcome will be only two types. It will be yes or no. We will see these things in various kind of classifications algorithms. There are various kind of data sets. There have only two type of outcome. Only yes, only outcomes will occur or not. In such scenario, binary distributions comes into the pictures to get such kind of answers. In such scenarios, if our outcomes is only yes or no, so in such scenario, we will use the Bernoulli distributions concept, and we have to know the probability of that X outcomes. Okay, in such scenario. And the experiment that are going to design in Bernoulli distributions, that if these distributions are repeatedly doing it many times, then in such time what will be the output after the end of that experiment. So in such scenario, binomial distributions come into the picture. That's the simple examples. If you're going to toss a coin, so if you just if you just time going to toss a coin in single trial, then there will be only two outcomes, head or tail. Okay, but if you repeatedly doing these jobs, if you repeatedly going to toss a coin, suppose let's say we are going to toss a coin 10 times, then you are going to find the answer how much time on that 10 times how much time the head will occur. Okay, in such scenario, to get such kind of answers, the binomial distributions come into the picture. Suppose let's take we are going to toss a coin 10 times. So in 10 times, the occurrence chances to occur the hit, it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 2, up to 10. It will be any number. So what will be the chances to get such kind of, suppose we are interested. Suppose we are interested, what will be the probability to get the 5 coins? What will be the probability to get the 7 coins, 7 hit? Sorry, what will be the probability to get the 5 hits? What will be the probability to get the 10 hits? So in such kind of, you see, it's in such kind of scenarios, so the binomial distributions come into the pictures to get the answer. I think the geometrical view, the real application point of view, the two theorems are clear. So in next lecture, we will see how these things are applicable on a data set. Okay, we will see these things on next lecture.